Dear students, today I Praful Gupta is going to explain you the object and class topic in computer science. That is chapter number 3. School has given you this glorious opportunity to understand this chapter with the help of video lecture. So without wasting time, let's start. Firstly, what is an object? An object is a identifiable entity with some characteristics and behavior. So here is a real world example of an object that is dog. The identity is the name of the dog. The state it can hold is breed, age and color, and the behavior of the dog is bark, sleep and eat. This is the real world object example. You can have a look. Some more examples of an object like laptop, cat, etc. So the next topic is class, and the class is a group of objects with common characteristics and behaviors. So here is the example. The class name is animal, which is containing group of objects like dog, cat and cow, etc. Here's some more example. You can have a look. More about object and class. More definition about class and what is the structure of the class we will see in this portion. A class can be defined as a template that describe the behavior states that object of its type support. This is the structure of the class, which is containing access modifier, keyword class and the name of the class. So we are going to learn about the access specifier in detail. It shows the accessibility of the class members inside or outside the class. There are 4 types of access specifiers. First, public. Second, protected. Third, private, and the fourth is the default. More about access specifier in detail. First, private. What are private members? Private members are accessible inside their own classes only. Second, public. Public members are accessible inside their own classes as well as outside the classes in the same package or any other package. The third one is protected member. Protected members are accessible inside their own classes as well as in subclasses in the same package or any other package. The fourth one is default. The default member is also known as friendly. When no access specifier is defined, then it is called default member. Remember, default members are accessible inside their own classes as well as outside the classes in the same package but not allowed in other package. Here you can, in the next portion, you can see the default values of byte, short, int, long, char, float, double, boolean, their sizes and their default values. Remember the size of the default values. So the next topic is class and constructor. A class constructor is a special member function of a class that is executed whenever we create new object of that class. Remember, a constructor must have same name as the class name and it does not have any return type at all, not even void. Its purpose is used to initialize the data members of the class. There are three types of constructor. First, default constructor. Second, parameterized constructor. You are familiar with the default and parameterized constructor. The third one is copy constructor. What is default constructor? A default constructor is a constructor which can be called with no arguments, either defined with an empty parameter list. The default constructor is used to assign default values to the data members of the class. Basically, the default constructor is used to initialize the default values to the data members of the class. Suppose you define an instance variable, it is used to initialize the default value in default constructor. Here is the example. You can see that we have declared the function as the same name of the class name. The second one is parameterized constructor. The parameterized constructor are the constructor having a specific number of arguments to be passed. The purpose of parameterized constructor is to assign the parameterized values to the data members of the class. Here you can see an example which is having a class name as test, and we have passed one instance variable as x and we have passed one function with the name test, and we have passed it with the argument as x1. So here you can see how the parameterized value is assigned to the data members of the class. The third one is copy constructor. In copy constructor, we just copying the values of one object into another object which has been created previously. So here you can see the example. We have passed an object inside the function itself. Here you can see an example which is showing the three of the constructor. As you can see that we have passed the instance variable as x, the class variable as y, which is having the keyword static, and we have made one constructor, default constructor, which is assigning the default values to the data members of the class, and the parameterized constructor you can see, and the copy constructor also. Here is the void display method. In this method we are printing the values of x as well as y. Now we are making the main function, and in this we are creating an object with the name ob1, ob2 and ob3. First line we are calling the default constructor, and in the second line we are calling the parameterized constructor, and in the third line we are calling the copy constructor. Now we are calling the display method using the above objects. This is the method for calling copy, parameterize and default constructor. The input you can use either scanner class or buffer class. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.